at first it's probably not too much of an issue, but after some time, when you start to develop core strength and you start to do more compound exercises, so not so much isolation exercises, you start at the gym, you're doing bicep curls and things, but once you start doing more compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, and bench press, then you end up realizing there are parts of your body like smaller muscles and less capable muscles that start to let you down while you're trying to strengthen really strong areas like the hamstrings and the back. And they don't necessarily let you down, there's not necessarily a design flaw, but I just wanted to talk quickly about grip, because it's one of those things, because when you're pulling especially, and you can pull in three different directions. You can pull up from the ground, as in a deadlift, you can pull towards you, as in a row or a bent over row even, and you can pull downwards like a chin up or a pull up. And as you're doing pulls, quite often the first thing to let go won't be the back muscles, won't be the muscles that when you strengthen give you broad shoulders and good posture. The first point of weakness you'll find will actually be in your grip. So because the arm is designed in a way that we have a lot of dexterity in our fingers. And if you have a look at the way it works, all of the muscles that actually use the grip originate near the elbow. So they're all originating on the humerus, which is the funny bone, the ulna, and the radius. And they're all quite far back here. So the wrist flexor muscles that you use when you're gripping are the flexor digitorum superficialis, which is a superficial muscle. Digitorum means obviously the digits, the fingers. And the origin of that is on the humerus, the radius, and the ulna. So it really it originates in three locations. And that inserts onto the fingers, not on the thumb, but the fingers, onto this second bone from the end here. So that actually doesn't pull on the fingertips for that final flexion there. It's just onto the very end of the fingers, so a bit of curling action like that, the flexor digitorum superficialis. The flexor digitorum profundus does connect to the final parts of the fingers, the distal phalanges they're called, and that origin of that is on the upper ulna, which by upper they look at your section closer to the body when they talk about upper, and the ulna is the part on the outside of the arm, if you like, so towards the little finger, but it actually connects to all four fingers. And what's going on, the last one you probably want to know about is the flexor pollicis longus, which has its origin on the radius, and as you can imagine, connects to the thumb, and that connects to the last bone on the thumb, so the distal phalanx. And the interesting part about this mechanism is that it has a very complex mechanism of action. You end up with these muscles here doing all the work for this movement here. So what you've got is muscle here, and if you have a look at a picture of an anatomy video or whatever, you see tendons running in under the wrist here. And you might have heard of carpal tunnel syndrome. This is where the tunnel, it is literally a tunnel of cartilaginous fibre that runs across, and it looks like when you're activating these muscles and this tissue, and if you could see through this tissue, it would look like a puppet show kind of thing, with someone pulling strings from above and puppets moving in some sort of song and dance, because the fingers don't have the muscles of their own to move, and the grip isn't really all about the muscles of the hand, it's more about the muscles of the upper forearm and how they combine with the biceps to pull, and obviously the largest muscle in the upper arm, the tricep. But the weak point, I think, for gripping really is these flexor muscles. So we call them wrist flexors, and they work in synergy. Well, actually they work antagonistically, which means fighting against the wrist extensor muscles, which actually push your wrist in that direction, but together they actually give you the ability to grip and hold on to something, even though they work theoretically antagonistically. So you could strengthen your wrist extensors and wrist flexors by doing wrist curls and wrist extensions, but that would really take a lot of time, and you'd probably still get to the point where you'll always be able to do pull-ups and chin-ups, but you might not be able to do a particular deadlift, or in my case, I'll show you in a minute, a rack pull. Your wrist will be the first part of the lift to let go, and you'll be thinking, oh, I didn't really hit my back hard enough at the gym, and I really wanted to get, you know, my shoulders and back really into that, but it was just felt like I couldn't hold on to the bar. There's a lot of argument from a lot of people that if you talking about functional strength, you really should be able to hold on to the bar, and so yeah, you can improve your grip, even just pick up some bricks and walk around the backyard and lay yourself a new pathway. That will definitely increase grip strength. But for me at the moment, I'm lifting to a point where, and I'm no athlete, I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not a powerlifter, but I'm lifting to a point now where my hands just aren't going to hold the bar unless I use something. And this is what I want to show you. I've just discovered these things after quite a few years of just using normal straps. Just for pulling. I've been using straps just for pulling, but these guys who make Cobra grips actually advertise them as the only piece of equipment you'll need in the gym, and I'm going to show you those because they'll just help you hold on to whatever you're trying to pull. Okay, let's have a look. So this is the mixed grip rack pull. I'm not doing a deadlift because I'm nursing an injury, L2, L3, lumbar vertebrae slipped disc from years ago from deadlifting. And so this is me trying to do a mixed grip without any straps, and unfortunately 225 kilograms is too much, and I've broken the skin on my calluses. Here's a close-up of the callus. Very pretty. That was yesterday. Today it's actually looking purple where that callus came off. So here are the Cobra grips, and as you can see, it's a piece of rubber that's been double reinforced with double sewing, and it literally just slides under the bar as your hand goes on top, and it curls back around and meets the hand, like so. It's really, really grippy rubber. So as you approach the bar, slide it underneath, curl it around, and then just pull, your fingers don't need to do any work anymore. It's almost like it grabs onto the skin, you grab onto the rubber with your hands, and up comes exactly the same weight with ease. Doesn't look like I'm lifting it very far, but it's still 225 kilograms. So yeah, the Cobra grips make things significantly easier. Now, just for the sake of comparison, I've got these straps which I've had for quite a few years now, maybe 5 years or so. I won't tell you what brand they are, but they're very common straps. You see a lot of people with them. That's why I bought them. You can see the rubber's starting to wear inside them. Foam rubber. Both straps have foam rubber on the wrist portion, and the best way to wear them is pretty far down on the wrist. So if you wear them too high and you wear them over the palm, you'll end up with probably sore palms, and the wrists, the straps will probably slip a bit. So you actually want to wear them relatively close to the distal end of the limbs, so towards the fingers. Now the difference between the Cobra grips and these straps is primarily how much you can lift. You can lift a lot more with the Cobra grips than with standard straps, from what I've found. But also see how long it's taking now to prepare the lift. So you've got to curl under twice, and then you've got to actually pull back towards you in a motorcycle grip. See this? I'll get a motorcycle grip and actually rotate back towards me to get a decent grip, and it still feels like once you've picked up with the straps that the bar will be slipping a bit. And I mean, more often than not, you'll have to undo the Velcro and tighten it, redo the Velcro. With normal straps and with Cobra grips, you'll be tightening the Velcro to find, the right, the amount that it will squeeze on the palm, and you really want to wear them down onto the palms rather than up on the wrists as well. So as you roll these straps under the bar like that, you're quite often crouching ready to do a deadlift, and you'll be using a lot of energy just crouching, just in the ready position using straps instead of the Cobra grips. So yeah, the Cobra grips are much more efficient, time efficient and energy efficient. You'll be spending a lot more energy with cheaper straps. Not to mention you'll probably be tearing the calluses off your hands. Now here's an interesting video. This is me lifting 265 kilos, which is the equivalent of 583 pounds, when I got a little bit excited that I could do a bit more with the Cobra grips. I'm yet to find out exactly what I can do for my 1 rep max, But yeah, these grips are looking pretty good. I would recommend giving them a go. Thank you.